All right, so we have been following today the further saga on the debt ceiling drama. Today, President Obama has warned that everybody in America faces a tax increase if the lawmakers don't act by that August 2nd deadline to raise the debt ceiling. He said he's ready to make tough decisions, and he's challenging Republicans to do the same. With me now is Congressman Huelskamp, a Republican from Kansas. Good to see you today, Congressman.
Pleasure to be with you.
So you've signed Grover Norquist's pledge not to vote to raise the debt ceiling. But even Norquist now has told NPR he's in favor of raising the debt ceiling in return for spending restraint. Do you regret signing that pledge?
Well, the pledge in question is a pledge not to raise taxes. And the problem in Washington is they spend too much. And that needs to be the solution. We've got to attack the overspending.
Do you see repealing tax cuts the same as raising taxes?
The House Republican budget actually proposes to rid ourselves of quite a few loopholes and actually lower the rate and have a no new revenue. But Republicans aren't against new revenue. We do that by getting Washington off the backs of job creators across America and get this economy going again. We have a problem. The economy is going the wrong way. Spending's going up, and we've reached this situation where the president has to request a huge debt increase.
That's all happening under the Bush-era tax cuts. So you're arguing that those tax cuts are what sparked job creation, and yet we know we've seen the highest unemployment rate in generations under those Bush-era tax cuts. We know that American corporations are sitting on a lot of cash. No, let me finish, Congressman. We know that they're sitting on a lot of cash, despite the fact that that money is ostensibly supposed to be used to hire people. They're not hiring. They're sitting on the money.
Every day out of Washington, this administration sends another signal to job creators. We have a new set of regulations for you. Banking, EPA, OSHA, every day new things happen that tell job creators that don't start a new job. The uncertainty is incredible. If we want to get the job economy going again, if we want to reduce unemployment, we do that by reducing the size of spending and regulations in Washington. That'll create more revenue. That's what job creators across America are telling me. They're not saying, hey, we need more regulations, we need more spending, we need less. That's how you raise more revenue. The idea of raising taxes when you have 14 million Americans out of work. President Obama has been president for 2.5 years. This is his economy. This is his request to raise the debt ceiling.
It looks like the majority of the American people disagree with you. We have that recent poll that shows that most people blame President Bush for the economy, not President Obama. Your colleague, Representative Charlie Rangel, who's on the other side of the aisle, here's what he had to say about what the real goals are for Republicans. Let me play it.
What is abundantly clear and goes unchallenged is that a number of Republicans were elected not to balance the budget, not to increase the debt ceiling, but to get rid of President Obama.
Is Charlie Rangel right? Is that the real mission here?
The real mission is to restore the American dream. For 8 years under President Bush, they spent $4 trillion more than they took in. Under President Obama, they spent $4 trillion more than they've taken in, but it was only in 2.5 versus 8 years. The problem is too much spending in both cases. And the problem isn't that Washington doesn't tax enough, is that they spend too much. It has nothing to do with the election. That's what bothers me about the president.
But President Obama is proposing now a deal that would cut some $4 trillion. Republicans are the ones that are balking. Why?
The president has put not a single thing in writing. In his press conference, he asked, what are you going to do about entitlement reform? He absolutely refused to identify a single way to save a dollar.
Today he appeared to address some of those entitlement reform cuts that may need to happen.
What were his proposals? What were his proposals, ma'am? There are no proposals. Put them down in writing, Mr. President. The House Republicans have passed a budget that identifies entitlement reforms that will save Medicare and Social Security. The president has put no plan on the table. The Senate hasn't passed a budget in 806 days. No budget, no plan. We have to move forward. The American people are tired of this. I agree. But they want solutions. They want a balanced budget amendment to tie the hands of Washington, because we've proven for years that they can't balance their budget up here. That's what the freshman class is hearing at home. Change the culture in Washington.
It'll be interesting to see whether you can make any headway on that front, because so far it doesn't look like you're having a lot of luck. Congressman Huelskamp, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.